Thank you, Nish, for the prayer. So, good morning, class. How was your day? Really, Katalaya? I'm glad to hear that. So, now, diba, we were able to discuss last meeting about protein. So, can anyone tell me what is protein? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jasmine. Very good. So, proteins are essential nutrients for the human body. Correct. That's right. So, before we are going to start, I'm gonna show you a video. For a moment.
Welcome to 5 Minute School. In today's video we're going to be talking about protein structure. So to begin the video I've included this diagram showing you what an amino acid is. It's the basic structure of an amino acid. So you can see we have a carbon chain with a carboxylic acid group on one side and an amine group on the other. So the carboxylic acid group is this carbon with a double bond to oxygen and then another oxygen with a hydrogen attached to the oxygen. And we have an amine group which is a nitrogen attached to two hydrogens. So what makes amino acids unique to each other is this residual group which we have on this side chain, and this will vary amongst different amino acids. So to begin the video we'll talk about the primary structure first. So that's just a linear sequence of amino acids in a polypeptide chain. So it's a long sequence of these amino acids and it forms the primary structure of a protein. So these amino acids are going to be held together by covalent bonds, otherwise known as peptide bonds. So you have this carboxylic acid group which will bond to another amine group on an adjacent amino acid. That will be a condensation reaction and water will be removed and we'll have the formation of a peptide bond. So if you imagine a long chain of amino acids, one's going to have an N terminal and the other will have a C terminal, and that's just on one end of the chain we'll have this amine group sticking out and on the other end of the chain we'll have this carboxylic acid group sticking out. So that is the N and C terminal, and that depends on which amino acid is at the end of the polypeptide chain. Another factor to note is that these residual groups or functional groups don't have a role in the peptide bond. Moving on from the primary structure, we have a secondary structure of a protein, and we have hydrogen bonds forming between the main chain peptide groups. Examples of secondary structure proteins are the alpha helix and beta sheet. So you can see here we have the alpha helix and here are the beta sheets. And we have hydrogen bonds which are formed between the amide hydrogen and the carbonyl oxygen which is in the backbone of the polypeptide chain. Moving on, we have the tertiary structure of proteins, and these are certain spatial arrangements of these secondary structure proteins. So the alpha helixes or the beta sheets are going to get folded even more to form a tertiary structure. This diagram here represents the tertiary structure. We also can call these structures globular proteins, and these tertiary structures are going to be held together by non-covalent bonds like hydrogen bonds and van der Waals forces. Finally, we have the quaternary structure of proteins, and that's the arrangement of multifolded protein subunits in a multi-subunit complex. And the bonding is via non-covalent bonds such as hydrogen bonding and salt bridges. We have a dimer which consists of two subunits which make up the quaternary structure, and we have a trimer which consists of three subunits. An example of a quaternary structure protein is hemoglobin.
So, that's it. So now we are going to group the class into two, wherein you're going to have a brainstorming and choose one representative to talk about what you have discussed in your group regarding the video. So this would be group A and group B. So Nesh will be the representative of group A, and Jasmine will be the representative of group B. Yes, Nish? Yes, very good. There are different there are different structures of proteins. We're in the primary, secondary, the tertiary, and quaternary. So, how about Jasmine? Yes, that's good. The primary is the simplest form of the protein structures, and the dots that connect each of these structures are called the amino acid, just like what the video said. So, thank you guys. So now let's proceed to our discussion. Nesh said earlier that there are 4 structures, so our focus for today is the primary structure of protein. So what is primary structure of protein? The primary structure of protein is a sequence of amino acids in the chain, just like this picture. Those are proteins that is connected to each other, and each of it is called the amino acid. So, what is the function of primary structure? They do most of the work in the cells and are required for the structure, function, and regulation of the body tissues and organs. This is the simplest form, and they are connected with each other, wherein it is called the amino acids. So now I'm gonna show you an images, and you're gonna tell me whether it is the primary structure, the secondary, the third, or the fourth, or the quaternary. So here, this would be the first picture. Yes, Catalea? Yes, very good. This is the primary structure, an example of a primary structure. This one? Yes, very good. This is a secondary structure. And this one is a tertiary structure. And another one, this is a primary structure. Very good, Jasmine. And this one, yes, this is also a primary structure. And this one, the last picture, Yes, very good class. This is primary structure of proteins. So now, I want you to ask yourself, why is it important? How important protein in our body? And I'll call someone to tell me or to tell the class about his or her point of view about how important protein in our body. Okay, can I call on Danilo? That's right. So, the study of the structure is important because proteins are essentials for everyday activity in the human body, as well as they are the key components of biological materials. That's right, they are the one who are making energy to keep our body moving. So for now, I want you to group yourself into 2 groups again, and we're going to answer this question. Knowing the structure of a primary protein, name the sequence using this given polypeptide chain below. So this would still be group A and group B. Okay. And you are going to pass your papers. Very good. So now, another activity. This is an individual activity we're in. The first question is, how does protein correlates with biology and chemistry? Second, what are the important roles of protein in our body that are essentials in daily activities? Write it in a 1/4 sheet of paper and pass. And for your assignment, you have to study in advance for the secondary structure of proteins which we are going to tackle next meeting. Thank you and goodbye.